Hey guys, so I'm here to talk to you today about fashion. So I asked a few people on Tumblr to help me out and come up with some ideas on what next video I would post because I can only do so many Q&As, right? So somebody had posted to me anonymously, you have pretty cool style, maybe you could make a video about where you get your clothes. So here I am giving you guys what you asked for. I love fashion. If you ask any of my teammates and my friends, the thing that they say mostly about me is that I love my clothes and I love dressing up. I love dressing up for game days, wearing a blazer and everything like that. I very rarely wear sweatpants. I like to wear jeans and look presentable. It's just kind of my thing. So I'm glad that somebody kind of took notice of it and it was acknowledged. First of all, we can kind of tackle the issue of shopping in a men's section when you're transgender. That is in itself a topic definitely worth discussing. When I first started to shop in the men's section, I was nervous and I would wonder what people were thinking when they saw me in the men's section. I started when I had longer hair and I probably was about 14 when I bought my first jacket. It was H&M and it was a men's, I think a fall jacket. I remember buying it and being like, Mom, can I get this? She's like, oh yeah, sure. Oh my gosh, I was so happy. I loved that thing. Just knowing that it was from the men's section. It was my first article of clothing from there. And that kind of was the point of no return for me. I loved the way it looked. I loved the way it felt. And I knew that that was it from now on, that I wanted to make that change. I needed to make that change from women's clothing to men's clothing. Now, I'm 5'4" and I'm like between 115 and 120 pounds, right? So that's not the typical size of a typical male. And that's not how people make clothing in the clothing industry. They're in to make money and they want to cater to the most people that they can, and sometimes the really small people and sometimes the really tall people get left out of the mainstream clothing, and that's kind of an issue that I dealt with before I figured out what kind of brands fit me the best. So shopping for clothing used to be really tough for me and I used to get very discouraged. I still get discouraged when I can't fit into a pair of shoes that I like. I'm a size 5.5 boys, so that's really tough for me to find shoes that don't light up every time I walk or have superheroes flying on them or a Velcro strap. So it takes a lot. It takes a lot of guessing and a lot of research on the types of brands and on the sizes that they carry. So hopefully I can save somebody that's just beginning their shopping some grief that I wish I would have been able to avoid myself when I first started shopping in the men's section. So first of all, we'll tackle what brands I like, and also when I shop in the women's section, because I still do that, and I do that mostly for my jeans, my pants. I have to wear women's jeans and pants because my legs are so small, and that's just, they fit me better, and doesn't make me any less of a man, doesn't make me feel like, oh my gosh, I'm wearing women's pants. How dysphoric do I feel? I don't feel dysphoric. I want to find clothing that fits me the best. If it's a women's clothing, it's women's clothing, because sometimes cis men wear women's clothing too. You never know. So, and also for shoes, I have to sometimes fit into women's shoes too, which is fine. There are definitely some masculine brands out there that will cater the needs of a trans man, and I'll tackle that as well. So first we can start with the men's section and the brands that I like when I shop for like my sweaters, my t-shirts. I shop for my jackets there too. I picked out a few of my favorites, and I'm going to show you guys that too. So J. Crew, I'll start with that brand. It's a great brand. I love it. And also I do shop in the kids section when I get the chance, especially shoes. And I just like the way that it fits better. Like an extra small men's does suffice, but sometimes it's too long. If I have a button down that I bought that's an extra small, I have to tuck it in or it rides down too low and it doesn't look the way that I want it to look. So I used to just tuck in my shirts all the time until I kind of figured out that the kids section actually fit me better than the men's section in some articles of clothing. So J. Crew has a great men's section. They have a lot of extra small sizes. Now there's some sweaters that don't come in extra small, but for the most part I can find extra small. See, I have to wear extra small. So the brands that cater to that are J. Crew, H&M, Express. For people that want to buy more high-end clothing than that, Burberry is a nice brand. There's a brand that I'll touch on too. It's called The Kooples. It's an English brand, and I'm from Canada, so they have the brand a lot in Holt Renfrew. There is one outlet in Toronto that has a lot of a Couples store, so I shop at that a lot. I love that brand. That is my favorite brand. It's a more of a luxury kind of brand, but you can get good prices at the outlet stores, which I take advantage of completely. So you just kind of have to do your research before you go to a store. Just look it up. Do they have a size extra small men's? And if they do, you're in luck if you're my size. If you're lucky enough to fit into small men's or medium men's, then you will have an easy time finding the right clothing for you. So as for shoes, if you are a size 9 women's, you can fit into probably size 7 men's, and that's usually where the cutoff is for men's shoes. They usually only make like a 7, so it's very hard for me to find a 5.5. I have to find boys' shoes. Touch back to J. Crew again. So J. Crew has a kids section. It's called Crew Cuts, and that's where I love to go. That's where I get all my button downs. And I have one of my favorites that I'll compare to an extra small J. Crew size it's also one of my favorites, but I have to tuck it in. So yeah, this is one of my favorite shirts. I love blues, I love grays, and I love blues, gray, white. That's usually like my color scheme. I'm starting to kind of jump out of that a little bit and get some green in there, maybe a little bit of a deep red, but for now this is definitely one of my favorite shirts. So let's see if I can compare it. So that's how long it does. It usually comes up to about there on me, which is where I like to have my shirts sit. So this is a men's extra small right here, J. Crew. The comparison between the two would definitely be how long it is. So you can see that comes an extra few inches lower than the Crew Cuts, which some people don't care, but I am a stickler on the details, and I really like the way that the Crew Cuts sits with me. So I will go and shop in Crew Cuts. 14 is the biggest size that they have for Crew Cuts, which is what I fit into. At least I'm the biggest size in the kids section, so that's not that embarrassing. But alright, now for sweaters, it's not usually that big of a difference. I like an extra small sweater. Sometimes the Crew Cut size is too small for me in a sweater, so make sure you always try it on before you bring it home. Now, I wore this in a picture in my Buffalo News article, and most people commented on it asking where I got it. So this is J. Crew, and it's a J. Crew extra small men's, and it fits me fine. But I went shopping the other day, and I was in the Crew Cut section, and I found a blue one, the exact same thing going on with this, and I bought it. And so the comparison, it's exactly the same. So I'm really happy that I found that one. But yeah, J. Crew definitely is a great brand to go to. Kids section, non-kids section, a nice extra small. That is typically where I get most of my clothing. So if you want to get your jeans, I like a dark wash. Light washes are in now too, but it's now winter, so I think more of a dark wash is more appropriate. Ripped jeans are great, but J. Crew, if you want a nice dark wash jean, I would definitely recommend the women's toothpick. Excuse me. So I think I covered that for J. Crew, and like button-ups and stuff like that, and sweaters. I'm more of like a preppy dresser, so if you like the look like a collar or a pullover sweater, that's a great company to look for a nice preppy kind of college-y look. So next brand that I want to talk about is the Couples. So I love the Couples for my dress clothes. I have a couple jackets from there. I really do like them for t-shirts as well. So they're another brand that carries a nice extra small, and the outlet mall that I go to that has the store, outlets usually carry like weird sizes. So the good thing for us small trans men is that extra small is not a very desirable size. So they usually have a lot of those in the outlet stores. So here are a few shirts that I got from the Couples at the outlet store. So this is what it's called. Come on! So this is what it's called. It's called the Couples. It's probably backwards for you guys, but there's an extra small. And I love this. I think this is a cool shirt. Fits nicely. Comes up on my hips where I like it. It's nice and tight on the sleeves, so there it is. I wore this on my last video, and so there's the Couples again. And they have a really cool emblem right there. And they're very detail oriented, so I really like this. This around the cuff. It's just a cool, like you wouldn't necessarily see a lot of collars like that. So I think it's a really cool brand. They do a lot of cool things, and it's actually where I got my jacket that some people were asking me where I got it, so I'll show you that too. So I don't know how many of you are familiar with my Instagram account or anything like that, but I was wearing this jacket. It's another Kooples jacket. This is a women's coat too, so it's a size 36, so sometimes I do shop in the women's section. Don't be discouraged if something you like doesn't fit you the way you want to. So if something fits me right in one spot, but I'm too small for another spot, you can get it altered. I have to alter a lot of my things, like my pants, the cuffs of my blazers, and my jackets. Definitely, I have to get them turned in and cut. So that's just the reality. I'm just very small, and that's just what I have to do. I have to spend a little bit extra money on getting it altered, but it's worth it if I find clothes that fit me well, and it just makes me feel good about myself. I guess I'll talk a little bit about shoes. So I shop for women's shoes. I'm going to show you a few of my women's shoes that I like and a few of the kids' shoes that I found as well. So a brand that I really like for shoes is Cole Haan. They are a really good brand. They're actually from Nike. It's just like the high-end version of Nike, but it's for like dress shoes and stuff like that. So they're very masculine. I really like the look, and they fit me. So anything that fits me, I'll take it. So here's Cole Haan, and I love the detail here. I think it's great. I actually hit a door there with these, so I'm kind of upset about that, but I like the look. They're pretty dirty. I probably should have cleaned them for this video, but that's alright. I don't think you guys care that much about that, so I like a nice look like that, like a nice masculine. You couldn't even tell that was a woman's shoe. These are also one of my favorite dress shoes. I like to add a little bit of color, and I like the detail there too. So you can wear that with any color that you want. Honestly, it looks good. You just have to have a little confidence with it. There's another brand that I like. It's called Clark's. I really like it for my desert boots. I have a bunch of desert boots. I love them. I like this color right now is the one that I like. Oh shoot. My light died. No! Okay, it turned back on, my light, so maybe it'll last. I don't know. No! No! Shoot. Wow. This is the real me, guys. No light, no nothing. Oh well, let's finish it. And then another brand that I like. So I really like the Chelsea boot look, but I had a really tough time finding shoes that fit me, so I had to really look. So I found a nice Chelsea boot. It's from Design Lab at Lord & Taylor. Love it. I'm not crazy about this at the back, but you know what? You gotta make some sacrifices. And these are a great shoe. These would be great for the outfit that I'm wearing right now too. So yeah, so now I'll just touch on kids departments, hats, and shoes. So there's a few, hats are a tough one too. So I have a small head, and I could never find adult hats that fit me right. Either they were too big around my head, or the brim just drowned me out. So I have nice kids hats. I usually don't wear it like this, but this is like a nice brim, nice size brim for my head. And I think it looks better backwards. Like I'll usually wear it like that. So I like a nice kid's hat. And Adidas, just anything that says youth on it, I just gravitate to it. And that's pretty much it for my clothing. So my advice to you guys is just be confident. Wear whatever the heck you want to wear. Don't let anybody tell you, oh, you can't wear that, that's girls. You can't wear that, that's men's. Like sometimes when I'm shopping in the women's section for clothing, some people come up to me and say, you know, this is the women's section. I know where I am. Again, just like the bathrooms. I know where I am. Don't you think I would see all that stuff, all these sizes, and know that I was in the women's side? Leave me alone. So if you see somebody shopping in a section and you don't know what gender they are, it doesn't matter to you at all. You're not the one that's wearing the clothing that they're picking out. So mind your own beeswax. So just be confident. Just rock it. Whatever you want to wear. And if you can't find your size and it just makes you feel dysphoric that you're too small or anything like that, know that there's other brands out there. Just keep researching, keep looking, try the kids section like I did. No shame at all. I'm wearing kids everything. It's the only advice I can give. Clothing is a great way to express yourself, and just make sure that you're comfortable in the clothing that you're wearing. that's all I got. Hope it helped. If you guys have any more suggestions, shoot me a note on Tumblr. So let me know. If you like it, give me a thumbs up. Comment down below. Like, subscribe. Yeah, well, thanks for watching, guys. Take care.